Shai was my guy for doing the videos. These videos actually tell our buyers and sellers what we've done for other people, how we get them more money.
And that's what the Done For You video system does for it. We're using it everywhere that we can, whether it's in our Facebook advertising, whether it's on our website. We even use some of it in our listing presentations. And because it's so well done and explains everything in such great detail in a way that's more entertaining and more appealing, it gets us better interaction.
When you use Shai's Done For You products, you get professionally done videos without all of the hassle of having to figure out how to do a professional video yourself.
It's one of those things that adds credibility to everything that we do. It just solidified me doing the deal before I even got there in many cases.
I would highly recommend them. We use them, and like I said, we're going to do like $10.5 million in gross commission income this year. So if we need them, you for sure need them as well, and it will set yourself apart from the competition, and it will help you collect your fee.
I will say that Shai and his crew make you feel comfortable, make a video that's going to make a difference to your client base, whether you're recruiting or talking to buyers and sellers. We're using the messaging that we're learning here and putting it in a format that is professional. Is going to take you and elevate you to the next level of professionalism.
Our guarantee sale program, USP, has been introduced to thousands of people. It creates a good report. It increased our success rate, and you can see that in our numbers. I mean, its numbers have gone up dramatically.
We saw you on TV. That was exactly what he said. So it was a fantastic appointment. We just walked in and didn't have to compete for the listing.
You're basically pre-sold when you walk in the door. They're most of the time like, okay, we know you're the guy. In fact, they say you don't even have to go through the listing presentation. Let's just, where do I sign?
Before I actually walked into the seller's home, they had already received 2 different videos that I had sent to them before the meeting started. And now they're comfortable with me. They've seen me. They know a lot about what I stand for and my value proposition to them.
It's very important, and it's very important to have it done properly and professionally. So that's why I always hire Shai.
The videos are incredible and very, they come across really well.
Our conversion has gone through the roof. We're right at about 90% right now. A game changer, and you have to have it because what it represents for us in a month of commissions is about $80,000, $90,000 what we notice in our business a month. It's a must.
You show up to a listing appointment, I guarantee you will getting that listing, and you're getting that listing with higher commission. It's a game changer.
I know that the time I invested here today is going to have a huge impact on my business, and I would recommend it to everybody.
Hi everyone, it's Shai Schwartzman here with another Done For You TV audio video coach broadcast. And I'm really excited to again welcome Christy Filion. Hi Christy, how are you?
I'm great, Shai. How are you? Thank you so much for having me on.
Absolutely. I wanted to have another more in-depth conversation on video and also the marketing of the video, because as we talked about in our last broadcast, making the video is one thing, but what do you do with it? How do you get it out there? How do you effectively use the video to reach out to lots of people so they raise their hand, become a prospect, and ultimately a customer? Christy is with Success Website. Christy is the marketing guru at Success Website. You and your team have done a phenomenal job of helping real estate agents from all across the country reach prospects and customers online. And I really see a great marriage between what I do, which is video production, content, and your team taking that content and effectively implementing it for real estate agents so that they get the most out of their marketing.
Absolutely. That's right. Broadcasting it, sharing it. getting it out there to your audience. There's so many ways to do it.
So today I thought we would talk about direct response marketing. I think that's a great place to start because we want to be able to use our marketing to get someone to raise their hand. So Christy, what's the difference between direct response marketing and what I would call image style marketing?
Image style marketing is definitely the typical style of marketing that a lot of real estate professionals do. It's the bus benches, the billboards, the postcards, the flyers. You've got your face, you've got your phone number, and you've got your fingers crossed. Someone's going to call because they see my face.
Right.
And that certainly does raise some awareness. People do become more familiar with who you are. That's why we call it brand awareness style marketing. But you're not really giving them a compelling reason to call you other than, here I am. I'm an agent in the area. Maybe I'm selling your neighbor's house. But direct response is where you're going to give your audience a very specific call to action, because your audience is always wondering, what's in it for me? So if you can tap into that desire for whether it be a free home evaluation or perhaps somebody's interested in seeing homes that aren't available online, you have to give them a compelling reason to contact you. So that's what direct response marketing is all about. And quite often, it's not about you. It's about what it is that your ideal target market is likely asking themselves. You know, if I could only get this, if I could only get more information about what that home down the street sold for, right? So that's the type of advertising that's going to get people to pick up the phone and call you, or go to your website, request information, and contact you. That's the type of marketing that we specialize in, and that's the type of advertising that we also encourage our clients to do.
I would say image advertising, Christy, would be, for example, Coca-Cola, right? Mm-hmm. Coca-Cola, they're portraying, you know, if you drink this, you'll feel great, or you'll have a great life, or you have great friends, or so they're selling an image. There's no benefit to drinking, let's say in the commercial, to drinking Coca-Cola. It's more of a feeling. It's more of an image. But see, Coca-Cola can do that because their market is the world. They're marketing to everybody. But as small business people, we need to laser focus our marketing. With direct response advertising, we're calling out to them. So for example, your headline could be 10 mistakes to avoid when selling your home. To learn more, click on the link in the bio or the description. Or if you're reaching out to buyers, for example, you could do something like insider secrets to get front of the line access to the best homes as soon as they come out on the market. Now, that's a little long, but if I'm a buyer and I'm thinking of, I'm already in the process of buying a house or thinking of buying a house, that's going to stop me in my tracks.
So it's those types of offers that answer those burning questions in the buyer's mind. You know, how do I get access to the best deals in the market? Or if you're a seller, how do I sell my home fast and for top dollar? How do I price my home properly to avoid it expiring? Or what are the best fix-up tips to get my home sold fast for top dollar? Those are the questions that they're asking themselves. Those are the offers that are going to compel them to raise their hand and ask for more information. It's also very important to state that this is valuable content. So when you're making your offer, you also want to explain what they're going to get access to. In the case of a video, you may have a very short video that talks about the content and what it is, and they have to submit their information to get access to the full video. Or perhaps it's a free report, something that is a PDF format. Or maybe you're giving them access to a portal where they can search for homes or do something like that. But it is important to explain what they're going to get access to as well.
The headline stops them in their tracks. You're targeting your message to the people who are interested in that message.
Or they may know someone who
Right.
they think could benefit from this content. You know, maybe a son who knows that their parents need to move, and that does happen as well.
You could run video ads for empty nesters.
Right.
You know, so empty nester, find out what your home is worth. And then you're offering them something of value, which is that information.
Yeah, and make it very clear. If it's at all confusing, you're going to lose them. It has to be super clear and obvious what it is that you're offering and how they can get access to it. If they can't register within a nanosecond of what you're offering and how they can get access to it, you are going to lose them. So that's very important as well. And that does take some skill, crafting those messages to have that impact and clarity.
The headline stops them in their tracks. We make them an offer, and then a call to action. So with the call to action, what do you recommend your clients do?
There's different strategies you can use. Sometimes you do have to sacrifice quality over quantity. So in the example of Facebook has a very effective lead tool, I would call it. They're called lead ads, where if somebody clicks on that Learn More button within your Facebook ad, their information is automatically inserted into a form, and they just have to hit a button and they've opted in. So that is a very simple, effective, very frictionless way of getting people to submit their information. One thing you don't necessarily want to do is give them the idea that they're going to be bombarded with calls and text messages once they fill out the form and submit it. So it's very important, actually, in your forms to have your consent settings explicitly mentioned in the form. So that's one thing that you have to make sure you're doing, and that's usually already baked into any type of landing page or advertising you're doing. I know that Facebook ads require you to put a privacy policy there. So if you want to get more leads, you want to make it as frictionless as possible. Don't be asking a ton of questions. Don't have multi-step forms that take them down a variety of steps that they have to spend more than a minute filling out. I would say if you're offering content like a free report, or you want them to sign up for your newsletter, then just have a very simple form where they're going to supply their email, their phone number, their name, and they get instant access to the information that they've requested. If it's something like a home evaluation, or perhaps you're trying to get a higher quality lead, then you will likely want to have more questions on that form. Perhaps you want to know that they're a homeowner. Perhaps you want to know if they're looking to buy, what is their minimum requirements for bedrooms, bathrooms, things like that. So a lot of our advertising is, as you said, it is designed to not only get the highest number of leads, but also to get the best quality leads. And number one, make it easy. Number two, make sure that you have all of your consent settings built into it. And then number three would be to make sure you build out the rest of your funnel so that you're automatically delivering what it is that you're offering.
So let's talk about the funnel. So we've run our ad, we've run our video. Let's go back to 10 mistakes to avoid when selling your home.
Which would be a free report, let's say, or a free video report.
Free
right?
video
Some
report.
educational content, we'll call it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they either, you could decide they can click on the link to go to a landing page, that is congruent with that, or that you talked about the Facebook lead ads, you called it?
Yes, yeah, they're called lead ads in the Facebook Ads Manager. So that's, yeah.
And I'm assuming Instagram, other platforms have some similar
Yes. Instagram definitely does. Google's different, right? So Google Ads behave somewhat differently, although there is a form element to those as well. But I would say that Facebook and Instagram are the more popular types of lead ads that you see on social.
With Google Ads, you would it sounds to me like you most likely would lead them to a landing page.
That's correct. Yeah.
So as you said, it's the top of the funnel. The ad takes them to the landing page, takes them to the lead form. Then what happens as part of that whole process?
Right. So once you get them to submit their information, raise their hand, say, yes, I'm interested in this, then you have to start marketing to them. Okay. The job is not done there. So number one, make sure they get that information that they've requested right away. If they get pushed over to a thank you page and there's no report, or there's no second video, or there's not, right? If the information they requested is not there, that is disappointing, right? So that's not a great way to start, and that's not a great way to build out your funnel. So automatic fulfillment should be in place for sure. And then you have to continue to market to them. So that means putting them onto a regular action plan, maybe scheduling a call, maybe texting them a message saying, did you get the report? Did you have any questions? I'd love to get your feedback. So that is the midsection of the funnel. And that's usually where a lot of the work gets done, because that's where people are in that awareness / consideration phase. They are aware of you now. They know who you are. They like you enough to request information, or they liked your information enough to request it. And it's your job to stay in front of them and continue delivering content and value.
One of the things I like about direct response is that it's measurable. So when I run my video ad, 10 mistakes to avoid when selling your home, there's a way to be able to track it, right? So I can see how many clicks I got. So I can look at my statistics, how many times it was served, how many people watched it, how long they watched it. Did they take an action? If my video was served to a lot of people, but not a lot of people engage with it, well, maybe I need to rejig my headline. Maybe my headline isn't compelling enough. And if I had lots of impressions means it was served up, and I got a lot of clicks to watch, or people watched it but didn't take action, maybe my call to action isn't strong enough. So you can see how by looking at the data, I can see where my audience trailed off.
Right.
So trackability is key. You can't do that with image advertising. So if you just put a picture of your, a headshot, your name, your contact information, and there's no call to action, there's no way to judge if this ad is effective. Yeah, people may call you, but is it from the ad? With direct response, you're able to track everything. What's some good numbers, or numbers that you use with your clients that say, yeah, this is a good ad. I got lots of people, I got good, 1,000 people saw it, or 500 people saw it. Here's how many people clicked on it. Here's how many. What are some numbers that you can share that we should strive for?
Well, these are called KPIs, so key performance indicators. And I like this question because I am a bit of a data nerd and spend a lot of time looking at that. So what you described there first with the impressions, that's the number of views for your content. So without impressions, you're kind of dead in the water, right? Nothing is going to come to you business-wise if people aren't seeing your ads in the first place. So that's number one. Make sure you have a good number of impressions, because that number is always going to be way, way higher than your click-through rates or your opt-in rates. So impressions is number one. Make sure that number is as high as possible. Then number two is the number of people clicking on your ad. And as far as percentage goes, I would say if you can get into the double digits, that's good. I know for email results, which we pay close attention to, like usually our click-through rate is around 25% for our emails, which I believe is a pretty decent percentage for that type of thing. Maybe for a pay-per-click ad with Google, it might be slightly lower, but that just means you're generating more traffic to your content. You're getting people to respond. So the clicks, I would say, are extremely important. And then if you've got a good number of clicks, or you've got a good number of people getting to your page, but you're not getting the opt-in rates that that you want, and usually we say about 7% is a good conversion rate. That's what we call it. That's the number of people who actually go to your page and fill out a form. Then there could be something wrong with the page itself. So always test your landing pages. I cannot stress that enough. There are things that can go wrong technically with the page itself. So always make sure that you go in, fill out the forms, submit the information, make sure there's no technical issue with people filling out that form. And then also make sure it's easy, make sure that the page is responsive. That is another huge mistake I see a lot of people making, right, is they don't check out how their landing page looks on a phone.
Right.
Almost 90% of the traffic is going to a phone, right? So make sure you try it out on your mobile device as well. So that's usually what we spend the most of our time working on, is in increasing the conversion rate. To me, that is the most important metric, because impressions are great, clicks are great, but at the end of the day, you need to get people raising their hand. You need to get those leads into your CRM, into your database. You need to be growing your audience. And that's why we do spend a lot of time optimizing those landing pages, making sure that they're doing the best job they can to get as many of those leads as possible.
As I like to say, Christy, I like to say to real estate agents, you should be closing more deals as opposed to trying to produce reels. That's our job. So
deals over reels, I like it.
Well, I find with I speak with a lot of real estate agents, and I get a lot of questions about, how do I edit this? And I think to myself, why are you editing? Why are you having why are you having someone in your office edit who has no idea about what the most effective way to edit and package a social media video today, when you could deal, with experts like us on the video, where we show you how to create the video, but more importantly, or as importantly, taking that video and packaging it the right way so that it gets engagement, it gets eyeballs. And for anyone who'd like to learn more about what we can do for you on the video side, you can visit our website at AudioVideoCoach.com. And then in the description below, there's a couple of services you'll want to look into. One is free. You could take, there's a link on the screen. There should be a link, but also in the description below, I have a 3-part video course. It's an on-demand video course, totally free. Just click on the link and you can get access to the course. It takes you all the way from, you know, how to use your smartphone to create your videos, and gives you some tips and strategies on editing and distributing your videos. So take a look at that. I think you'll get a lot out of that. It'll answer a lot of the questions that you're having. And then if you'd like to learn more about how we can help you turbocharge your video production so that you have lots of engaging content available for your marketing, then you'll want to visit my website at audiovideocoach.com. So Christy, what I want to give the audience now is they've reached out to Audio Video Coach. We're helping them create awesome videos. What can you do for them so their videos are now, the marketing is turbocharged? Because there's no point in creating a video that no one's going to see.
Well, Shai, I mean, as you know, we have a lot of mutual clients, and what happens is your clients come to us with a whole suite of video content, and they say, okay, we need to do something with this. What should we do? So what we do is we set up those funnels, and that can be landing pages that have the video content on there, having a system that will automatically fulfill their request, and then also have those videos integrated into a follow-up system so that every week people in your database are getting a customized video from you. And that is an excellent way to stay in front of people. So we help our clients with their CRM action plans, email follow-up plans, drip plans. And then we also help by integrating the video into the website, having that content on your site, on those landing pages. And then doing the marketing is where we're pushing that content out to a much larger audience to generate more leads into the system. So it really is end to end, and it is it's amazing when we have clients come to us with all of that content already in place, because now we've got everything we need to build those funnels, build those follow-up plans, build those remarketing campaigns.
And video is really the medium today that is attracting. That is what you see on social media.
It's a great way to build trust. Honestly, I feel like people are so used to absorbing that content, that type of content on their phones primarily, that when they get that content, it quite often is going to do a better job of engaging them than, let's say, a block of text, right? So I do always recommend that you provide your audience with alternatives to getting your information. You know, never assume that they only want video, or never assume that they only want an article or this information in text. Make sure you give it to them in both forms, because some people are going to respond to different things. But the reality is, when people are thinking about working with you, seeing your face, hearing your voice, that can go a long way. And then also, if you're offering free information, like a free report, having that in a video format. I know, Shai, you've got some explainer videos, right, that are very animated, very colorful, very engaging. It's a lot easier for people to consume the information that way. And as we said earlier, you got to capture their attention in seconds, and having a very vibrant video will probably do that more effectively than a block of text. So yeah, having video, I would say, is an absolute must for realtors who really want to up their marketing game. And the easier it is to get that, and the more content you can produce without you having to be the one doing it and editing it, and because there's a lot of work that goes into that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, better to have someone like Shai do that for you, And then that way you just need to focus on the follow-up, making sure that you're keeping an eye on any new leads that come into the system and do your best to close those leads into actual business.
And then that's where your marketing comes in too, is you help automate that process as well through.
Yes, we do. Like that, as I said, that is, it is an extremely important part of the process. Generating the lead is often the easiest part.
Right.
It's converting that lead into business. That is the difficult part, but it doesn't have to be if you have the right system in place to do it.
Christy, where could people find out more about what what Success Website offers?
Successwebsite.com. That's where you can learn about exactly what we do. I also host a regular training series for realtors called Agent Secrets. If you go to agentsecrets.com, you get access to all of the recordings that we've done over the last, I don't know how many years. we have a lot of free content available for you. And yeah, absolutely. We would love to take you through a free, no obligation demo of how our system works, and hopefully get more leads for you. I mean, at the end of the day, that really is the important part of all this. We want to make sure that all that content that you're producing is contributing to your bottom line. So that's our primary goal and focus for you.
As we wind down, Christy, I wanted just to leave our audience with a little bit more information about the top of the funnel, if you will, social media. What are some do's and don'ts that you can articulate on posting their videos to social media?
As far as do's, I would say consistency is key. If you're going to do it, then commit to doing it at least once a week. I know that many people would say that's not nearly enough, but I'm a realist, and I know that sometimes you need to have just enough to make it worthwhile. So yeah, it has to be consistent. I would also recommend having a calendar that you can easily follow and commit to, and mixing up the type of content that you're sharing. You know, we talked about free reports as being a good hook to get people to opt in. Maybe sharing testimonials, I would say, is an absolute must. Make sure you're doing that. Of course, any listings that you've got or any promotion that you want to advertise, absolutely do that. So consistency and mixing it up and having a calendar of different types of content that you're going to be posting is really important. As far as don'ts, I would say just if you're going to produce something, you really should be proud of it, right? I know that some people do want to just get it out there. And I know, Shah, you and I have talked about this, that sometimes good enough is good enough, and it doesn't have to be perfect.
It doesn't have to be perfect, yes.
It doesn't have to be perfect, but I mean, if the audio isn't good, then it's not good, right? If the lighting is really bad, then
there are
bad.
Basics. There are basics, and the audio has to be good. The lighting should be good. Don't stand in front of a sunny window behind you and be a silhouette.
Right.
So there's some basics, and if you want to learn what those basics are, again, my free video course with the link in the description does a great job of getting you started.
There's a bit of trial and error always. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Don't let these, I mean, we all get so self-conscious when we see ourselves on video or when we hear ourselves. Try not to get bogged down by that, right? That's your perception.
Right.
That doesn't mean you need to deny other people of experiencing who you are. When you're at a meeting face to face with people, that's you, right? So try to mute those little negative voices that are bound to go off, because I will tell you from my own experience, you get used to it. You do get used to it. So that would be a don't let yourself don't get down on yourself about producing video. Just get out there and do it. Lots of free tools as far as editing and things like that. As Shai said, your phone has a great camera on it. But consistency is key. And
you just want to get started.
So just keep going at it. Don't be afraid to try different things. The more you do it, the better you'll get.
For all of you who are looking to get video or to up your video game, again, my information is below. And then to up your marketing game, reach out to Christy, reach out to Success Website, see what they can offer. They have a free consultation. There's no cost, there's no obligation. I love the work that they do. They take my videos and they get eyeballs on them, and that's what you want. So Christy, thank you so much for your time today.
It's been a pleasure. I look forward to helping some of you with this specific task of creating some really good quality video content that you are going to be able to get out to your ideal target market and generate some really good contacts and leads and conversations. That's how it all works. That's how this whole system works. So we can talk about technology and funnels and click-through rates and impressions as much as we want, but at the end of the day, you just need to be face-to-face with more people. More people need to know you and know who you are and trust you. That is what this is all about. So that's what I want to leave everyone with today, and hopefully we'll be able to help you out with that.
If you like what you've seen in this video, consider liking, sharing, subscribing, and clicking the notification bell so you won't miss our next videos. To help us reach more people, please comment and engage with this video or our other videos. It helps the algorithm find more viewers so that we can share our information with a larger audience. And thanks for watching this video.